also the disparity between some of the reasons that you say you were given in 2016 versus what you were given today? As you were reading the statement, General Secretary, I couldn't help but think that unions must almost become like an alternative management. That's what you are proposing here. It's almost like a limit of how we can save this one. Is that where you think unions are going? Is there a paradigm shift here because of the market forces that are involved in a particular sector? Do you feel that you have to learn as much about that sector, some of its trends, so that you're ahead of the companies when they come to you with such offers?
This one?
Let's first deal with the letter. I think when the notice was given on the 15th, we clearly responded through and requesting. In actual fact, there's two letters we wrote. One we wrote to the minister's office, which is Minister Stella Abrams Ndabeni, and also we wrote a correspondence to the ANC so that we can engage on the particular issue of the announcement of Telkom in 3,000 jobs. The issue of the other trade unions, which I think we spoke about solidarity, and I think it's ITU, ICTU. Those are the unions which we will obviously talk to so that we can, and NUMSA. Those are the unions which we are going to engage on this particular matter and come up with a clear program of action so that we defend and protect the jobs of workers. For CWU says we reject any form of retrenchments. It's our position, it will remain our position. In actual fact, we'll be making a call that Maseko now it's time for him to really exit Telkom and he and his board, because they have failed consistently. And I think the trend, GS, from 2011, if you look at the trend, Telkom have been on the downside. And I think those are the particular issues we want to really respond to. Is there any other question I missed?
Okay. With regards to, but second, we also wrote on the same day to the ANC, the Secretary General of the ANC, to seek for intervention in that regard. With regards to the alternative to management, I think we have to take you through that we did not start today. We actually met Maseko several times, even paraded himself as one of those people who wants to champion the discourse of the 4IR in public. And one of the things that we have said to Maseko is the reskilling and upskilling of workers, so that if such eventualities happens, workers are reskilled and upskilled and the market can reconsume back into workspace. But also to develop them to be such entrepreneurs. Yes, there is a need as a trade union to be aligned with developments and also to know your industry better, so that we can be able to defend the jobs, because it's in our interest that companies shouldn't collapse, because we should create jobs so that we can be able to grow the economy. So indeed, unions are in that space. It's unfortunately that we find ourselves having discussions with some greedy, selfish individuals such as Sipho Maseko, Jabu Mabuz, amongst others, who will ignore everything else, increase their benefits and bonuses on year in, year out, whilst they've kept workers' salaries into a 4% average over the period of 3 years, cutting off the bonuses. But on their side, when they give themselves profits, like in the last financial year, they said the company is stable. So we are not here dealing with the company that is in crisis. And I want us to understand that. Based on their financial report, they are not in crisis. And what they are crying foul about, they are saying that customers are moving from voice to cell phone. But they are also saying the same line, that they are improving on cell phones, which the future is great for them. They are sitting at 9.2 million subscribers on cell phones alone. But having said that, we also have to consider some other fact, that when the new technology came, it did not come in the morning and we found the new technology. There was a period of phasing it out, and phase the new technology in. That's why we have this challenge that Telkom did not perform all of that. But it's important to make emphasis to say, what is the role of government in this crisis? We had the PIC being a shareholder. It was willing to bail out a private sector at gas when it wanted to retrench. It is not willing to invest where the interest of the economy of the country is and the employment of workers. So we have a problem with that. But secondly, we have a government that kills its own SOEs deliberately, because we think this is a deliberately move. They are further calling to sell some of the shares of Telkom. So there's basically no interest in making sure that Telkom tries and compete with these incumbent mobile sectors that they are talking about. Noting that Vodacom was established at the backbone of Telkom infrastructure, including MTN. Noting that both of those mobile sector companies use the interconnection exchange fee to build their infrastructure. So in other words, it's a taxpayers' money that builds those two institutions, but we have a government that have lucrative tenders with Vodacom and ignore its own institution, which is called Telkom. Does that make sense? I'm sure all of you will agree with us. That does not make sense. So we are in a path war with selfish, greedy elites that are in charge of this country.
Thank you, Judge. Any further questions?
So what has been the SABC General's response to that?
Well, if you have looked into the ANC and the EFF, all of them went to meet Masego in some lunch last year and got cell phones and don't know and what else on top of that. They are all quiet about this matter. All what we know is that they have not responded to our letters. And any political party that claims to have the interest of the working class, at the minimum, should have spoken at this point in time. We find absolute silence because Masego have got all of them in their pockets. This will be a time to tell who's in the pockets of the capital and who's not, so that workers know when they go to vote, who are they voting for? Are they voting for the pig that eats its own children, or are they voting for the organization that will sustain and defend their interest?
Just for interest sake, in the news, the headlines is Telkom wants to retrench 3,000 people. When you look at its subsidiaries, you look at your BCX, you look at Gyro, you look at Trudon, Telkom in actual fact says, even to the outsourced company which is there, in actual fact, when we get to the real figures, when we get served by others, it will be 6,000 people are talking about. You see, in 2011, the same Sipho Maseko raised an issue of he wants to be like Vodacom. And when he said he wants to be like Vodacom, he even indicated we want to reduce staff to about 6,000 people. If you look at Vodacom, it's roughly about 5 to 6,000 people. If you look at MTN, it's about 4,000 people. So you can see the trend they want to follow. But we are saying, first and foremost, 6 months ago you said you are stable. You said you've got cash, you can even pay salaries of staff consistently. After 6 months you come, you say, because of the economy, first you blame the economy. We all understand the economy is not growing. And there was a job summit in 2018 around creation of jobs. Now all what we are saying is, if you look at all those things, it's clear that people are putting profits. The same Maseko went and sold all buildings nearly. If you go and check, lots of towers has been sold. So it's clearly that Telkom wants to reduce staff, and all what we have as labor is to defend. And how do we defend? We must lead marches. And one of the marches we are going to lead is to the Tuli House. The Tuli House is the ruling party, is an actual fact.
It is the Tuli House who appoints boards and CEOs. So we are very clear. We are going to call on all our members countrywide, sympathy strike. We want to go and face people in the Tuli House so that workers can be defended. You all know unemployment, the rate how high unemployment is. So we are saying to us that 6,000 people will be added to the numbers of unemployment. And I think where we are coming from as a union, this is our fight. But our fight is going to be very clear. Maseko and his cronies must exit Telkom. Enough is enough from where we stand.
Thank you, President. Any further question? In the absence of any, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you. If you want to have one-to-one with the GS and the President, you are free to do so. And thank you very much.
Now that we are close, I'm still editing there. I realize as I read that the grammar is not proper. It's because that we're writing whilst we're during the meeting and driving. So we are correcting you. So we take that. Bring us bait. Neslung saba siko right. Ngakho bakosho.